With rates of osteoporosis on the rise, it has become increasingly important to monitor bone health through bone mineral density testing. The gold standard bone mineral density test is the DXA scan. Hear more about DXA in this video with Dr. Jon Riek, Vice President of Musculoskeletal and Metabolic Imaging at Philips Pharma Solutions, including how DXA works, who should get a DXA scan, and its use in clinical trials.
Dual energy X-ray absorptiometry. It's a 2D imaging technique that makes use of X-rays with multiple energy values. And then it measures bone mineral density, and it can also measure the amount of soft tissue, including lean and fat tissue, as well as the amount of bone mineral content that you have in your body. So I guess the main challenges that you have are reproducibility. And also certainly it's difficult in certain patient populations. So if you have a prosthesis, or if you're obese, sometimes it's difficult to fit the patient in the whole field of view. But reproducibility is probably a big issue if you are not using a well-trained technologist or have a very standardized procedure, because there is some adjustment that's done by the technologist to do the measurements at the end of the scan, and those can sometimes increase the variability if they're not done in a very consistent manner. Right, so certainly it could be used for efficacy, as you said, for like an osteoporosis study or for an obesity type drug, but it's also used often as a safety endpoint. So if you have a drug which could affect the bone mineral content in a patient, then you may want to add in DXA to your study. Oftentimes it's used in pediatric studies to ensure that you're not affecting, again, the bone mineral density of the patient as they develop, right? So as a pediatric patient matures, you should see that their bone mineral density is increasing, and if for some reason they're on a drug and that's causing that not to happen, then that could be a contraindication for the drug. Well, I would say DXA itself is a decent technology for looking at bone mineral density and looking at sort of lean and fat tissue. It is inherently a two-dimensional technology as opposed to MRI or CT, which would be a three-dimensional technique. So you have that limitation there. But then I think the biggest areas for improvement come down to how can you be consistent in how you draw all those lines that divide the different parts of the body for doing the analysis. And there's, certainly the manufacturers have worked on algorithms and ways to improve how that happens automatically, but there's always adjustments that seem to need to be made. And I think the biggest improvement that could come is having that be more consistent across visits and across patients.
Philips Pharma Solutions provides cardiac safety testing and medical imaging services for clinical trials. For more than 25 years, clinical trial sponsors have relied on the company's scientific leadership to help design and optimize protocols and statistical analysis plans across a host of therapeutic areas. Visit xtalks.com for more information for all your life science, medical device, and food industry news, and both live and on-demand webinars. And don't forget to subscribe to the X-Talks YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the notification button to stay tuned for more.